Hello?
Hey everyone, please go ahead and take your seats and be quiet. The meeting is about to start. We're beginning a little bit later today because of some technical stuff, but we should be ready to go in just a second. Everyone please quiet down and take your seats. It is 7:32. Please stop talking and take your seats.
No way.
Before the meeting begins, I'd like to go ahead and make an announcement that the Zoom room is already open. We have somebody presenting through the Zoom today. And so if you would like to go ahead and join, it is open for voting purposes. I will disable the waiting room. All right. This meeting has now come to order. We will begin by utilizing open forum. I know Caitlin has something to say, so we're going to let her begin at this time. Caitlin, you should already be a co-host. You may go ahead and begin presenting now, Caitlin. Well, until Caitlin comes on the screen, does anyone else want to utilize open forum at this time? All right, I'm going to give her just a second. Caitlin?
Okay, sorry. Ashley just texted me. I couldn't hear anyone, so I didn't know what was going on, but I will share my screen. Okay, let's see. Can you all see that? Go back to the... Okay. So hey y'all, my name is Caitlin Baylor and I am the pharmacy school president this year. So I'm really sorry that I couldn't be with y'all today in person. We have finals coming up, so it's a crazy season right now for everyone in pharmacy school. But I just wanted to give y'all some reports. It may seem a little repetitive if Ashley has said anything to y'all throughout the semester, but overall, for our committee reports, our health and wellness committee, they have been doing the Dean's Fitness Challenge, and that ends this week. This year, we had a record number of fitness classes that we got to put together, so you'll see pictures in a moment, but we did them at Orange Theory, F45, True 40, and then there was like yoga another time. Our apothecary ball is getting started to plan. We've already reserved the date, March 26th at Greystone Mansion, and Hargraves Day is going to be March 25th on the green space. So we're really excited about that. We're planning really fun things for the students, like free food, free t-shirts. So we're hoping that helps bring back the culture that we lost due to COVID. So here's some pictures of everyone who went to the different fitness classes. These were free classes, so we partnered with them and were able to offer them to our students. For our October event, we did the Beat Bama Food Drive. So we did this separate from what like Big Auburn does, and we have different villages. So it's kind of like Harry Potter at the pharmacy school, and we raised over 478 pounds of food donations, and then online we raised $1,456.38, and then we had a competition between our villages and that will go towards points for Hargrave's Day that I mentioned earlier. So we also held an informational session about schools council and SGA senator elections last Tuesday. So we had probably about like a little less than 10 people show up. So that's really exciting. And then because again, pharmacy school runs on a different schedule, we get out right before Thanksgiving. At least that's when I do. I think some people maybe a little bit after. So we had our final General Assembly for the year. And then something that I found out about last week is the dean of the pharmacy school reached out to me, and he wants to help give out final exam snacks. And they're going to have faculty and staff donate money to us, and then schools council is going to cover the extra costs that are not raised from that to give out exam snacks. And our goals for the rest of this semester is just to bring back the culture of the Harrison School of Pharmacy. So that's all that I have. Thank you for letting me come talk to y'all. Hope y'all have a great meeting.
Thank you, Caitlin. All right. Would anyone else like to utilize open forum at this time? And Kaylee, you're more than welcome to switch to the agenda. All right. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Feel free to come be the chaplain. Sorry. Mm-hmm.
So hey, y'all, wanted to speak tonight on something that Kyle sent me, as well as something that's kind of been on my mind recently. So first with that, the question I wanted to ask is, where's your identity? Regardless of your faith, we are all built to find our identity in different things, whether that be grades, image, maybe your next position, or insert blank. I think that's different for everybody, but whatever it is. Just to ask yourself, as we finish up this semester, many of our projects come to close with like inside cement and with outside cement. Take a second to ask yourself if you're identifying yourself as unfulfilling or self-serving things, or if you're using your time and energy to be present, to serve others, and to follow your God. Also with that, if we need these next few weeks for the rest of the semester, we'll grab a bunch of help.
Would anyone else like to use open forum at this time? All right. Seeing none, we'll move into roll call. If everyone could, please go ahead and join the Zoom for voting purposes. Jet can also record your attendance through this method. We'll now move into the approval of the minutes. The minutes were sent out electronically last week, as well as again today in my reminder email. Are there any corrections to the minutes to be made?
Specifically, it's stating that with Jamie last week regarding corrections to parts of the code that deal with the school council punctuation. Then item D for the DEI committee work regarding first-year students. And then for the executive committee report, it is added just clarification on the dining office hours, since we did actively sign up for those office hours. It was added senator sign up for dining office hours. And
Thank you. Are there any other corrections to be made to the minutes? All right, seeing none, then they are approved and corrected. We will now move to reports from our officers, beginning with Rhett Wagner, the president.
Hey guys, just a couple updates for you today. First, I talked about this last week, and maybe the last couple of weeks, but
Thank you. Next, we will hear from our treasurer, Stephen Sadie.
Everyone, how are we doing? Good. Fantastic. Okay, a couple things going on for me. Don't know if y'all seen the emails going around, but there's increases right now in front of increasing minimum wage. So if y'all see any of that, it's like on campus, Auburn employers, please just like give any feedback that y'all have. I know that y'all are talking to a lot of constituents a lot. And then second thing, financial transparency. So we just got it approved. I know I've been talking about this for like 3 months now to all of y'all. Just got it approved, so it'll be on the website now, hopefully under AU Access. So it'll be like in your finances tab whenever you're paying tuition, anything like that. You'll get like a breakdown of like all the different student fees. Like each one of you is paying like $45, $50 for the student center each semester, stuff like that. So not only is it going to tell like the fee, but it's going to break down underneath it as well to explain like exactly what that's going for. So it'll be like student center fee, the reason that you're paying is because this was a resolution passed by the SGA Senate like 20 years ago, and then it increases every 5 years. This is what it's used for. This is what percent is paid for debt of the student center. This is what paid for renovation, stuff like that. So really excited to see just kind of all that come out, and we look forward to any feedback that y'all have as well.
Thank you, Stephen. Next, we'll hear from our EVP of Initiatives, Michael Thomas.
So I'm going to give a little bit of a report on COVID. This past week, we had, did not have a single COVID report that was positive. That's the first time this happened in over a year. So it's very exciting news. Hello? So yeah, but we did have an increase in flu cases. So we had 44 last week. But good news about COVID. Next, OSP contracts are live. So everyone that's in other organizations, please encourage people to fill those out so they can sit in the block. And then secondly, OIT can track when people are transferring tickets. So for example, if you say want to sell your ticket or something, which is not allowed, and you disable your Apple ID and someone else puts it on their phone, OIT can see that, and they have begun flagging people's accounts that have done that. So if the student does transfer their ticket, you are breaking about 4 different policies that you agree to when you purchase your original ticket. And so the repercussions haven't really been explained yet, but that is something that they have following now that we have this new system. And then lastly, or 2 things left, GRP, we have the edits from the standards committee submitted, and we'll be able to submit that back to hopefully bring to the floor of Faculty Senate. And then one other point, we've had, the past month, we've had a lot of different safety concerns regarding burglaries and breaking and entering. So for example, from Cabinet, we had several different stories of people go to their car in the morning and someone was sleeping in the back seat, or someone was just in their house at night. They found them in the laundry room. Stories like that. But the problem is, as we've worked with the police department with this, people just haven't really been filing police reports. So it's harder for the police to do their job. So something that I'd love for anyone to talk to me about this. If you have concerns, or you may know why students may not want to contact the police, please let me know and encourage them to do that. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Next, we'll hear from Molly, who is our EVP of Outreach.
Hey everyone, I just want to spend some time during my report talking about AU10. So if y'all don't know what AU10 is, it's a program that started last year. Last year's SGA exec got it rolling. So you essentially get 10% off at participating businesses when you show them your Tiger card or your mobile Tiger card. And we actually have about like 65 businesses this year. And I just want to go through a couple of them because y'all are going to recognize them and then realize the entire year you've been paying full price when you could have been getting 10% off. So some of them are like another broken egg, Auburn Nutrition, Chappies, Nukes, Red Lobster, Smoothie King. We have True 40 Fitness, Aricia, Tanology, Dunkin' Donuts, Niffers. There's a ton of places. Wire Nutrition, the new one. Auburn Oil Co. Booksellers. Where Barbaritas is on there. There's a ton of really great restaurants, and so we just got graphics made for that, and I'm sure that all of y'all have heard a name of a restaurant or business on there that you've been to in the past year and you haven't shown them your tiger card. So we're gonna make sure that we get that list to y'all and those graphics, so go ahead and post them, save them. We'll have more physical marketing materials coming in the spring, but for now, make sure you're using those and that y'all are getting the discounts you should be getting. And then besides that, as always, submit Auburn answers. We have a change to fall feast. Typically, it's that Monday of Thanksgiving break. It's actually going to be the week before, so that's going to be next week on Tuesday the 16th. We're going to be partnering with The Edge, so we're working on what that's going to look like, and we'll definitely keep y'all updated. But super exciting. A lot of y'all will be here, so definitely take advantage of that program if you can. And there should we're going to be working with ISO to make sure a lot of students are coming, so it'll be a lot of fun. And then besides that, we have Learning to Lobby Day is now moved to December. So legislators will be coming on campus, and our awesome external affairs team are going to be learning how to lobby for higher education funding. But that is all in outreach.
Thank you, Molly. And next we will hear from Tyler Ward with Cabinet Administration.
Okay, dokie. First thing is Miss Auburn nominations for SGA. So as a reminder, in order to be considered for Miss Auburn, you need to have 60 credit hours. Hold on one second, let me find it. You can be an undergraduate female, including vet med, pharmacy, or nursing, at least in their third year, and then 60 hours of coursework with at least 2 semesters and 24 hours being completed at Auburn. The people that we already have nominated from in cabinet are Corey Akins, Abby Ronson, Eliza Cradell, Isabel D., Franny Gorham, Emmeline Jones, Olivia Sutherland, and Gwen Charles. And y'all are able to nominate anyone else, any junior woman that y'all can think of. Y'all can just shout them out.
So in this room.
We'll do yes or no later. I'll text you after. Anyone else?
Brandon?
Anyone else?
Yes, JDJ.
Turnip seed.
Hope?
I've been wanting to use that joke for so long.
Lucy. Lucy Brown.
Lucy Brown.
Reese, did you have one? Okay.
Is that it? Anybody else?
Hope. Kyla.
Anyone else? Anyone you could think of?
We have quite the vote.
Yeah, anybody get a nomination? Anybody? Okay, so sweet. I'll text you guys later. If you've been nominated from a different organization, just go ahead and decline this one. You don't have to. That's why I don't want you to be telling people now. But just try to make sure that you don't accept 2 nominations at the same time, because you can only submit a request for one of them. As far as my report, Better Relations Day will be held in this room next Thursday. I might need you guys' help with just maybe directing some traffic in the morning or the afternoons. So be on the lookout for that. And that's about it. Cabinet's getting ready to do our office hours and just close the semester out strong. That's all I got. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Tyler. This will conclude our reports from our executive officers. We will now move into reports from our standing committees, because tonight we are omitting colleges. We will begin with the Academic Affairs Committee.
Okay, so our grad school equitable mentorship survey has been sent out to graduate students. We've also received our benchmarking back from the research team. And they've given us feedback from 7 different schools. So that's going to be super helpful in coming up with that resolution. We've got an early alert survey out. It was sent in the Senate GroupMe.
by Senator Dodd. So please continue to promote that survey to your constituents. That'd be a huge benefit to our legislation when that comes through. And then we had a future order coming through tonight. Our assignment due dates posted Canvas calendar resolution was supposed to come through. We're going to go ahead and table that this week so that it can be seen by a few more administrators, and then we'll move it up next week from a future order to a current order. That's all I got.
Next is budget and finance.
Andrew, it's fine. Lisenby at large. So like Rhett talked about a little bit, we had concessions board this morning, which is where a team of 12 members, including me, Rhett, and Steven, I don't think Steven was there though, decide what to do with the money from the concession stand. And so we had 6 proposals this morning. I think we granted 3 of them, tabled 1, and denied 2. And then coming up for BNF this week, we have 2 current carryover requests, 2 as futures, and then we had 1 late one get in today, which will be coming through next week as a future order. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Reese. Next, we'll hear from Code of Laws. Please give them your attention.
Mathner Education. So this past week in committee, we had the civic engagement team from Cabinet come and join us. And really, they just kind of wanted to team up with us and have a conversation about the possibility of a referendum that would deem the national presidential election that happens every 4 years a national holiday or a campus-wide holiday. And basically that would just give students the day off from class, and so those out-of-state students have one less day to worry about with missing class trying to go home if they do want to exercise that right to vote. So we're kind of just looking into that possibility now. They're joining our meeting next week, and we're going to try to come up with some questions that would be viable questions to possibly submit a survey request and kind of hear from the students on what days they would be willing to give up to fit that into the campus academic calendar and things like that. So if y'all are interested in being a part of that conversation, or if you have any questions, please reach out to me or come and join us in committee. We would love to have you there. And the only other thing I have this week is that we started those audits that I've been talking about the past few weeks. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Kyla. Next, we'll hear from the DEI committee with Mr. Brandon.
Belser Liberal Arts, there's not much for me this week, so John David Jones is almost finished with his brief, and then we will get the presentation. This has been quite a busy time for all of us, but we are going to get it soon. I will be attending Senator Mathner's committee this week, so I can discuss the special committees legislation that I've written, and in addition, I've been contacted by a few different groups within SGA, one being the AVP of DEI, Jordan Branchman. Exec has picked it up as well, but on doing sort of a feasibility to see about adding American Sign Language as a language in the World Languages Department in the College of Liberal Arts. And so I've reached out to the school's council of that college. We've scheduled a meeting, and so I'm really excited to see what comes from that. Thanks.
Thank you, Brandon. So next, we will hear from the Student Affairs Committee with Mr. John David.
Matthews at large. The initial meeting with the basketball lines and the athletic administration went well. Still nailing down which basketball games we can test that out on. For now, we would just love to hear feedback from the game tomorrow. Either send it to Jake or myself on how, if you go, what the basketball line is like, what the student section is like, the concession stands, just kind of getting a pulse on all of that, as we have not had a true basketball game in a long time. And then secondly, Elizabeth and Artie have started nailing down how they're going to color code their responses, as they have more than 600. So that's exciting to see that they're finally getting to work on that. That's all we got for this week.
Thank you. And next, we will hear from Graf Sullivan with the Executive Committee.
Sullivan Engineering. So same thing as always. Obviously, office hours were due at 7:30. So we'll be closing the form as soon as this meeting's over, and then also going upstairs to check the binder. So if you have not done so, please fill that out. Synod Exec, we're meeting this Thursday at 7 a.m. There are 2 exec meetings the rest of the semester. There are 18 of you that have yet
Many
to
of
attend.
you who have yet to attend.
So I'm super excited. That means we're gonna have like 9 of y'all at each of the next 2 weeks. Maybe like
We go get
16
breakfast
next
after.
week. Yeah, so expect to see a lot of y'all there. You are required to attend one a semester. It does count as committee meeting, so, committee absence. And then the last thing is dining hours. So Tyler, do you mind pulling up?
Kaylee actually has it.
Oh.
Yeah, she's on it today. So if everyone can be ready to pull out your calendars, we have, oh wow.
So we got 2 more spots.
Yeah, we only have 2 more spots.
And also, as an added perk, I don't know, I'm sure you've all seen Cole's email. We will be doing SGA marketing this week.
Actually, on that note, yeah, it begins next week.
Next week. But, so you get free meal and you get publicity, like you on the Instagram and stuff. That's cool.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting. So starting next week, just to interject before I let a question get asked, is that...
Yeah, I know.
Okay, you're all good. Is that we have a script that's been given to me today by Emmeline, which is really awesome. And so that script is going to allow us to start taking videos. That's going to start not this week, but next week. That's the video that we're going to make in collaboration with Dining, that we're going to have both them and our SGA post, as well as the photos that will be taken to finally announce our dining office hours as well as our normal office hours. And then also exciting is that I got the templates from her today, and we're going to begin Senator Spotlights again. So I'm very sorry that it's taken that long to happen, but it is starting. So I'm not signing up for an office hour, but yes.
Can Ryan and I sign up for Wednesday at 12?
Yes, Kaylee, will you fill that in?
All right, so that's all 8. So on that note, if your college has not yet picked up your office hours sign, you should have received an email from me today. Obviously, I've gotten responses from a handful of you. Also, have not gotten responses from another handful. If your college has something weird going on, not weird, that's a bad word to use, but like education, for example, they're doing their office hours in the Haley Center, and so they're keeping their signs in the Student Center. If you're going to keep it there, just put that on the forms. That way we know. It just needs to be like if Cole or I or the advisor needs to know like where this stuff is. We can't just have it floating around mysteriously. So please figure that out by the end of the week. These signs are, super helpful in terms of gathering feedback. So please make sure you have that done by the end of the week. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Graf. This will conclude the reports from our committees, and we will now move into reports from our liaisons, beginning with Luke Owens from the Honors Congress.
Owens, Honors Congress. So the Lee County Humane Society is hosting the Bark Bowl Bash at Auburn Oaks Farm on November 7th from 3 to 7 p.m. We will actively be volunteering in this event as it will feature live music, a $1,000 cash giveaway, and will be catered by none other than Bow and Arrow and local vendors. Be sure to come out and purchase tickets. We will be appointing a new freshman director of the media committee as applications close this Friday. We are looking forward to giving our younger members more opportunities. At our last meeting, we had special guest speakers Dr. Nadia Bouillon and Jordan Burko-McAtee speak on mental health for college students. They spoke about mental wellness issues students face, as well as the great on-campus resources for college students that Auburn has to offer, including the highly respected Auburn University Psychological Services Center. It was a very informational session, as we felt it was vital to speak on such an underrepresented issue. Our next meeting is November 17th, and it will be a working meeting. Thank you, and have a great rest of your week.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from BSU with Mr. Evans.
Evans, BSU. BSU hosted a panel today featuring the members of the Black Alumni Council. We heard some pretty great stuff and insight from them, mainly about their time here at Auburn and their thoughts now on current Auburn. overall, it was some pretty great information to hear from some people, that's been in your shoes before. So I'm pretty sure everybody in the audience took it, as a great sense of information and just, steps to take in the future, I guess. But you guys are more than welcome to come out. BSU's hosted every Monday in this room at 5 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you. And next we will hear from Miss Leah Stewart with the Auburn Student Veterans Association, or ASVA.
Good evening, y'all. Stewart for Student Veterans. So I want to start off by saying thank you all so much for being so supportive of our organization and for doing everything that you can to make sure that we are able to get the best experience here at Auburn. On behalf of my organization and our president and vice president, I just wanted to extend that and just say thank y'all so much for that. We really, really appreciate it. Like, y'all coming in clutch, and we really appreciate it. So of course you guys know Veterans Day is this week, is Military Appreciation Week, so we do have a handful of events that are going to be going on this week. Starting off with some of the military appreciation games that are happening throughout the week. So we have volleyball. In each of these games, we have a game day hero, so somebody's going to be recognized at these games. So we have the volleyball game on the 10th at 8 o'clock. We have men's basketball at 7. I believe that's Friday, I think. Friday. And then we have women's basketball on the 11th, also at 7. And yours truly will be there. I will be honored at that game, and I will also, thank you. I will also be singing at that game, national anthem. So, y'all.
All right. Right.
So y'all are welcome to come out and show me support. Johnson will also be there. Yeah. So and then we also have, of course, the football game on Saturday. We will be participating in Tiger Walk and all that stuff. We have our ASVA benefit night tomorrow at Draft House from 5 to 9. That's like any food, beverages that you guys purchase will go towards our organization. On Friday, we have Red Clay is doing a bash, and that's also for those of you who don't know, Red Clay is in Opelika. They're also selling food, beverages, and all that stuff that goes towards our organization. Whistle Stop on Wednesday is doing a charity bingo, and we're their chosen charity. So whatever money is made during the bingo on Wednesday, that will go towards us. Thursday is Marine Corps birthday. So you probably won't encounter any Marine Corps veterans. They will probably be doing their own thing that day because they take it very seriously. And that is all I have for you guys. Again, thank y'all so much. Really appreciate the support. And I look forward to hopefully seeing some of y'all on Thursday. If not, seeing you guys at one of these events that we have coming up this week. War Eagle.
War Eagle, Leah. All right. That will conclude our reports from our liaisons. Does anyone from the freshman committee have anything to report on? No? All good. Okay. From here, we will move from our we all good? Okay. We will move from our liaison reports into current orders. Kaylee, if you'll pull up that document. We'll begin with PSSB 21-11-801, presented by Nick Seward. It's getting pulled up, but I believe it's for a carryover hearing, correct?
Yep.
Yep. Oh, is it right there? Yeah, I think it's right there behind Zoom. It's in the same email as the bill packet. Ta-da. It is for the Emerge carryover request.
I ask for approval of the following. The carryover total of $1,476.85 for the Emerge student activity portfolio for the 2021-2022 fiscal year budget. So for the Tiger Catering, for Discovery Retreat, $619.60. For gas for the Discover Retreat vehicle, $40.65. The ballroom fee, $150. Lunch and Learn table tents, $32.81. Strength codes for Transform, $79.96. The grant for NOTA registrations, $350. And the Discover Retreat rental vehicle, $203.83.
Are there any questions? All right, is there a second? It is moved and seconded to adopt the bill just as read. Is there any debate? And of course, Nick, you would have the first point of debate.
I don't have anything, so.
All right. Seeing no further debate, we will now move into a vote. All of those in favor of passing the bill as written, please say aye and comment yes. All of those opposed, please say no and comment no. Am I forgetting something? Did you not motion?
I didn't know. It's good.
He did not motion. I did not realize. It's all good. Jet says that the ayes have it, and therefore this bill is passed as written. We'll now move into our second current order for the evening, PSSB 21110802, and this is presented by Mary Logan Sefton for, I cannot read whatever carryover request it is, but I believe it is service programs. There we go.
Yep. Sefton Nursing asked for approval of the following: the carryover of a total of $16,805.69 for the service program student activity portfolio 2021-2022 fiscal year budget. Alternative student breaks, leadership training $474.90, Auburn University Dance Marathon, leadership training $714 and 1 cent, AUDM publicity $362.50, Beat Bama Food Drive events $225, Beat Bama Food Drive leadership training $395.53, Beat Bama Food Drive publicity $8,015 and 13 cents, Impact leadership training $25, Impact shirts and name tags $925, the Big Event leadership training $736, the Big Event t-shirts $2,062.62, Risk background checks $240, Risk motor vehicle report $2,610.
All right. Are there any questions?
I move to pass this bill as written.
Thank you. Is there a second? Seeing a second to adopt the bill just as read, is there any debate? All right, seeing none, we will now move into a vote. All of those in favor of passing this bill as written, please say aye and comment yes. In the chat of the Zoom, all of those opposed, please say no and comment no. Jet has informed me the ayes have it and this bill is passed as written. We will now move into future orders for the evening, beginning with PSSB 21111501, presented by Mr. Justin, for the Student Government Association carryover request.
Justin Engineering, I ask for the approval of the following: the carryover total of $904 for the Student Government Association Student Activity Portfolio for the 2021-2022 fiscal year budget. First off, we have 2 Senate line items: September 2021 Senate meetings for $400, Eagle Eye live stream for final budget hearings for $300, and flyers for Heyday for $204.
Are there any more questions? Yes.
Sullivan Engineering, what did Senate use $400 on?
So, 2 things to make everyone aware. Reese, would you like to answer this question? Okay. I was going to say, for the Senate, I know that we actually have to pay for these services that we are offered through Eagle Eye TV. Moreover, I think that could... Oh, the second line item? Oh, yes.
It was for like our name tag.
Yeah, the first one is, I was going to say, for the name tags that were ordered. Y'all all are getting name plates.
And I was about to say it was name tags and name plates.
Yeah.
That was
So,
$400. Whenever they come back.
are there any more questions? Note on those nameplates is that they have been ordered, and they should be here before the end of the semester, I believe. Yes, question? The nameplates will be to keep. You're welcome. All right, thank you. The next future order is PSSB 21111502, presented by Senator Williams for the International Student Organization carryover request.
Williams Human Sciences. I ask for approval of the following: the carryover total of $5,983.80 for the International Student Organization Student Activity Portfolio for the 2021-2022 fiscal year budget. Social hour with the African Student Association, $1,966.40. Social hour with the Association of Indonesian Students for $2,398.40, and social hour with the Nepali Student Association for $1,619.00.
Thank you. Are there any questions? I think we said that right. I think it's Nepalese. All right. Thank you, Sydney. We will now move into the final future order for this evening, being PSSR 21111501, presented by Brooke Morgan as well as Colin Bryant for the assignment due dates posted to the Canvas calendar resolution.
Morgan, Agriculture, I move to table this bill.
Is there a second? It is seconded. Is there any debate? Yes.
Sullivan Engineering, can we get some more clarification? If we're tabling this bill with the intent of talking to administrators, only to therefore submit it next week and then move forward, just two questions based off that. Why are we moving it forward? It doesn't need to be passed. It doesn't need to be passed next week. We have enough meetings to finish it by the end of the semester. And then two, if we're still meeting with administrators, why does it need to be tabled?
I will allow either Brooke and or Gavin to answer that question.
I'll go to Gavin.
Or Rhett. Rhett, you may answer.
Okay, Rhett.
No, you're good. I get to choose who answers.
Okay. I think with this bill specifically, I'm happy to talk to anyone who wants to talk after as well. We haven't had a chance to talk with anyone in the provost office yet, and that's not necessarily anyone in Senate's fault either. It just hasn't lined up yet, and until we're able to say, like, is this something the provost office can even do anything about, it doesn't make sense to pass a bill like yet. I think there's a point where it would make sense, like say we talk with the provost, or we're still unable to talk to the provost office in a week or 2 weeks, and it's like, come on guys, you got a chance to talk to us. That makes sense at least to have like a Senate saying like, hey, this is what we'd like, even if like you're not going to work with us on this is still a student voice. Up until now, I think there's still a cooperative possibility of us being able to say like, hey, let's get this meeting in, let's talk about developing this as a team, and I think that would yield much more results. So I spoke with Gavin about that earlier, and that's what we'll do. I'm happy to answer any more questions.
Are there any more questions? Oh, unless, Gavin, would you like to provide additional explanation?
Well, yeah, and to your point as to why we're moving it to a current order is A, we'd like to get it through as soon as possible so that it can be evaluated more before the next semester instead of rolling it over. And then B, we're going to have a couple other things coming through next month that's going to be like a huge focus for us. And our plan has been to get this through before the end of the year, like for months and months now, and there's been delay after delay. So it's been ready. We just need to have the right conversation.
All right. Are there any further questions? I saw Kyla's hand come up first. This does make it go back to Senate exec. Graf, I did not call on you to answer that. Unfortunately. And unless there's another question asked, I mean, do you have an additional information?
Tabling it does not send it back to Senate exec. Tabling it would send it back to committee. If you chose to table it for 1 week, it would move it back to Senate exec.
So it's to committee?
Yes.
Okay. Sends it all the way back to committee. Any additional questions? Brandon? Anyone else? Graf, you had 2 questions at the beginning. Were both answered by those? All right. Any Any further questions? And we haven't voted yet, have we? All right. Okay. It is seconded, and there is no further debate, so we'll move into a vote. All of those in favor of tabling this bill and sending it to committee, please say aye and comment yes into the chat. All of those opposed, please say no and comment no. So the ayes have it, and this will be tabled next week, not indefinitely. And it will no longer be considered as a future order reflected on this week's bill packet and agenda. All right. This will now conclude future orders for the evening. I just have a few brief announcements. One from Jamie. She's saying that she's sorry she can't be here. Jamie's actually pretty sick today, as I know a few senators are, so that'll be my first piece of advice to you guys, is that I've now had two friends, interestingly enough, who just weren't feeling too great. The first, one of them is actually Artie, and had no idea, who's not here tonight, of course, wasn't feeling the best, but I said, hey, I think the flu is going around. You guys really should consider going and getting tested. Both of them had the flu. Had absolutely no idea that they had it. And like Michael's point that he brought up earlier is that 40 new cases. So just please be aware of that and make sure you go get tested. And if you're not feeling good, the same applies for all viruses. Please don't go around other people and spread that, because no one wants the flu. I heard it does not feel very good. Thank you all for completing your office hours, your dining office hours, and signing up. I greatly appreciate that. It was really nice to only have to fill 2 slots today. Like we said during Grass Report, those are going to begin taking media and that starts next week. Another thing to talk about is graphics. So after this meeting, there's 2 sets of graphics that I'm really going to need y'all to share. We're going to send, probably through the group me, but I'll send like a link to those graphics. Number 1 is Tyler, and confirm if I'm wrong, but we did finally get our our declarations of intent graphics, right? So those are finally out for all of you to share on your stories about the declarations of intent. The second graphic to be posted, why am I blanking on it? Not Shaker Distribution, of course, but not the student veterans. What was the The AU10, thank you. The AU10 graphic that Molly mentioned, those, like she was saying, the physical materials haven't necessarily come out yet. Those are maybe next semester physical materials, but as far as the graphics go, those are here. So those are 2 things that I'm going to ask each of you to put on your stories. And Leah, I have not forgotten, we also have another graphic to share and distribute, but that's about Operation Iron Ruck, but we're going to do that next week closer to time. That actually really quickly takes me into my next announcement, which is of great happiness to say that we actually, I don't know if you heard us mention a few weeks ago during maybe Leah's report, or John David mentioned it as well, but we were really looking to try and create a new video for the Operation Iron Ruck initiative so that could get shown during the pregame at the Iron Bowl, and that has been confirmed as of last Friday with athletics. Very exciting. Yes, super exciting. They're going to be showing that video at the pregame as the veterans come in and walk into the stadium. And also, huge hats off. He's not even here tonight to thank him, but to Artie, because Artie will be filming it, which I'm very excited about. And then finally, this is something Kyla touched on a little bit earlier, but also goes along a little bit with something Leah talked about this evening, and that is Veterans Day. So I have a meeting with Abby Ronson tomorrow, who sits on the Academic Calendar Committee alongside Michael Thomas. The reason we've had a little bit weird situation moving forward, and Brandon, I think I've CC'd the Senate chairs on as well, but the Academic Calendar Committee just doesn't have a chair, so they didn't have anyone to contact to be able to call a meeting. So we've had a little bit of delay with that, but I'm meeting with Abby tomorrow, not only about Veterans Day becoming potentially a possible holiday, or just inquiring why it hasn't yet, or if any work has been done, but also asking about what Kyla mentioned, the National Voting Day for the every 4 years for the major election for students who don't live here. Other than that, please, you all have 2 more Senate, like Graf already said, Senate Exec Committee meetings, 18 of you. That would be fun to all have at one, but those are Thursdays at 7 in the morning. We do those in the student involvement suite at the big table by the back SGA offices. Please continue to promote and share. Raise your hand. Has anyone shared in class? Yes. Awesome. That is awesome to hear. Go right side of the room. But anyway, I would encourage you all to check my previous 2 emails that I've sent with recaps over the last 2 weeks. Both of them include example paragraphs that you could potentially send to your professors or instructors. I think the key, and this goes along with us posting the graphics in just a little bit, hopefully tonight, is that we really want to make this accessible to as many students as we can and inform them all about the process that got all of us in the seats that we sit in and these awesome positions where we get to know so much and do so much for Auburn. I do not think that there are any other announcements to give, and that would let me say good night. I hope you all get safely home. Be safe, be smart, and be kind. That adjourns the meeting. I look like a little